Hello, and welcome to the first major module of my online course, How to Sell Software to Businesses. And in this module, we're going to dive straight into your value proposition, your core value proposition, the message that is at the center of everything that you're going to do in your business, the center of your marketing messages, your product messages, your marketing, your sales collateral. This is the bedrock on which your organization is going to sit. And we use this as a starting point. We could start with examining your ideal customer profile, determining who your perfect customers are. We could start with talking about who your buying persona is, who you're actually selling to. And if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to sort of skip ahead, because we will be covering off both those areas in this course. But for us, I think the fundamental starting point has to be the value proposition, the core value proposition. So this video is going to explore why we do it and how we do it. And we'll go into great detail about how we build the value proposition and the tools we use in the next video. But for now, I just want to analyze why we believe this is so important. And as always, I'm going to share my screen and show you the PowerPoint, which is how to create an armor-piercing value proposition. And for us, this is all about obsessing about customer pain. So before I do that, I felt like in the first video, maybe I didn't explain enough about the book that we wrote a couple of years ago now, called The Go-to-Market Handbook for B2B SaaS Leaders. As I say, it's sold really well across multiple markets. The reason why I'm bringing it up here is everything pretty much that I cover off in this online course is also in the book. This video and this online course is a far, far deeper view of what we've covered in the book. But if you'd like a companion on your journey, or you'd like to go back and look at a particular section, the Go-to-Market Handbook for B2B SaaS Leaders is on Amazon, and it skims across the surface of all these areas. But as I say, we're going to go into far more detail now about each level. And we're starting today with looking at the value proposition. So let's stand back from it and let's think about what's actually happening here. You've spotted, hopefully, something that is broken in the world, and you've created an incredible product to solve it. So you've stood from outside a business, because at the end of the day, this is about selling software to businesses. You've stood from outside the business, you've looked at it and you said, there's a broken process. I think I can create some technology to fix it. And you'd like to take that technology to a bunch of customers and ask them to consider it. Now, there's probably two places you've come from in this journey. Either you've come from within an existing organization, so you've been an employee within a company, and you've spotted something that is fundamentally broken from the inside. So you've been working there and you become frustrated by a broken process. That could be we're very slow at getting products to market, or our recruitment processes are broken, or our strategic planning is poor, or the way we sell our products online takes too much time and is too costly. I can see staff getting frustrated. I can see staff leaving. And what you've done in your own spare time is you've gone off and you've noodled on that idea, and you've created a version of a solution whilst you're still working within that organization, and you've kind of tested it as you've gone along. And then maybe at some stage you said, actually, I'm going to go out on my own. I'm going to build a company, and I'm going to build this software. I'm going to build this AI. And you go away and you build it, and maybe you raise some funds with a view to going back to the business you used to work in, with them as your first customer, knowing that you've got kind of market pain because you've lived in that you've bathed in that water when you were an employee. That's kind of founder number one, if you like. Founder number two does it slightly differently, which is that they haven't actually worked in the business, but they have spotted something in business which they think they can fix more generally. So they've got a more outside view looking in, rather than inside view looking out. And founder number two has gone out and created a solution, and is now going back to a bunch of customers hoping to fix their problems. It's much harder for founder two, because whilst you may think you know the answer to why a company's having problems and a broken process, actually you need to go back and get that verified. So let's have a look at what we're doing here. We would like to take our software, our AI, into a business to fix something that is broken within that business. And in return, we would like that organization to pay us a bag of cash. Now, there's a huge difference between an organization suffering that broken process and the pain that comes with it, and them actually parting with cash, stopping the business, ripping out the procedures that they're using, the process they're using at the moment, and replacing it with yours. And that's what we're going to examine over the next few slides. How do we get around this? How do we test and verify not only that a company is feeling the pain that we believe they have, but also that that pain is so visceral, is so painful that they're prepared to hand you a bag of cash and to redo the way they do business. And that is a big thing to follow through with and to achieve. The starting point is to expose the pain with that customer, because that customer, however enthusiastic you are about your solution, may see and understand that pain, or they may not. They may see the pain and be living with it. They may be totally unaware that their team are living with this broken process and all the frustrations that come with that. We need to make doubly sure and test that customers see the pain in the same way we do and confirm that they would be prepared to buy it. So you could do this with a bunch of research. You could do this with a bunch of documents. You could get a research company to go and do this research for you. They would set up a load of calls with the customers, and they'd have a load of question sets, and they would take those customers through those questions and try and get answers. But actually, we believe this is something that you should be doing as a founder. It's a great way to introduce yourself to the market if you don't know that. It's a great way to go to a bunch of people you don't know and empathize with the pain and the challenges that they're having. And we believe you should lead by creating a visualization of what you believe the pain is, and also a visualization of your solution. And both of those come with challenges, because I suspect you're selling highly complicated technology. And then to take it to a customer with a carefully crafted set of questions to make sure they're not lying to you, to find out the truth exactly of what's going on. And this is how we summarize that process. We're going to define the pain. We're going to test it with customers, the very buying personas that we believe want our solution. And we're going to test it on two levels. One, are you feeling the pain? And two, is that pain so visceral that you'd like to find budget to pay for it? And three, we're then going to implement what we found out and what we've discovered. So number one, articulate the pain and get it validated by customers. Number two, present them with our solution and how it fits, or how it could fit in their organization, and how it integrates with their software they've got already and the process they've got already, and get them to confirm that that solution would work in their organization, and if any headwinds are there and what might be the challenges to that solution working. And finally, will they actually part with money for it? And there's a big chasm between the solution confirmation and will they part with hard-earned cash to back you to solve that problem for it. And the good news is we're going to explore all of these. So the reason why we do this is very often we work with technical founders. And technical founders are brilliant in the fact that they have created a really clever product. This could be hundreds, if not thousands, and sometimes millions of lines of code, different technologies interacting with each other. And what you've created under the bonnet of that car is something which many technical founders, including yourself, should be incredibly proud of. But at some point, technical founders say, well, I've got no experience of selling this. And this is the process which we can give to technical founders to help them do that. We have to go out and visualize that pain and all the different manifestations of that pain. So let's say a company is going through a broken process. How does that broken process manifest itself? Is it costing you time? Is it costing the organization money? But most importantly, is it costing the organization heartache? Are there employees in the business who become incredibly frustrated by the fact that this process is happening and that they have to live through it all the time? So we're really going to get underneath that pain, and we'll show you how to do that in the next video. Then we're going to visualize the solution, how it fits in the organization, the technology we use, how it would integrate with the organization. And then we go and test both the pain statement and the solution visualizations on those customers. And that essentially is what the next 3 videos or so are going to be about. So I hope that's introduced the reason why we go through this process, why it's important, and what that process is. I'll see you on the next video when we're actually going to dive into how to create a pain statement visualization.